I have some slides for 1.2. Here we go. Arguments and non-arguments. That's what this little bit is about. The general idea is that arguments are attempts to prove something, and non-arguments are not arguments. So insofar as they attempt something, which probably they do, trying to do something by uttering some words, they attempt to do something else. What might it be? As I say here, perhaps ask a question, offer advice, report information, state a position, explain the position, explain the situation. So giving information, but not only that, advice, questions, commands comes up in one of the examples I have in just a moment. All right, a couple example arguments. It's going to rain today. The forecast calls for heavy showers. This is an argument because the first sentence, it's going to rain today, is supported by the second one. The forecast calls for heavy showers. It's a reason given in this passage to say that it's going to rain today. It also happens to be about the future. It happens to be about weather, things that aren't so clear, that go both ways, are kind of contentious. We might want to give reasons to support a particular way we think it's going to go. The next one says practice makes perfect. This is clear once you realize that no one ever started out perfect at anything. Same kind of idea here. The second sentence supports the first, and so we have an argument with the premise, playing with the words a little bit here. No one ever started out perfect at anything. If you think about it, supports the idea that practice makes perfect. We could debate about how good that support is. We could also debate about whether or not it's true that the premise is true, that no one ever started out perfect at anything. Those are not the issues here. Again, we're trying to get the basics down, the idea of what an argument is, which is an attempt to prove, and we're going to later look at whether or not the premises are true and get some terms with that, and we're going to also look at whether or not the reasoning is good, how well the premises support the conclusion. See what else we have here. A couple example non-arguments. Someone might say, my house is filled with junk. I wish I could get it cleaned and organized, but I'm too busy. They're sharing some information here, a wish, but there's no attempt to prove it. It's not the content. My house is filled with junk. If we started out with that, we could say, there are clothes in boxes all over the place. My groceries are not put away, and so on and so forth. That then would be where we have reasons given to support a claim in an argument. Someone might say, secondly, let's meet at the pool. Is 2:30 p.m. okay? Really a command and then a question. No attempt to support anything or try to argue that some claim is true. Final thoughts I have. It is about the intent first and foremost. An argument is an attempt to prove. This is the intent of the author. Whoever said it is trying to prove or support a claim. So that's an elusive kind of thing. We're trying to make our best judgments here. This is not a point that's going to be pressed too heavily on the exam. Look at the practice exams to get a sense of what I mean when I say that. Now, the list on page 5 should be obvious from the book. Insofar as we're trying to figure out, hey, is this an argument or not, is the way to go. It says to look at, just ask the question. Is there an attempt to prove something? Are there premise and conclusion indicator words? Those suggest, not for sure definitively, but help suggest that there is an argument. And also look at whether or not there's debatable claims being offered. If not, it's probably not an argument. If so, could go either way. As I say in the book, might just be a statement of position. Probably the most important, though, is the list on page 2, the premise and conclusion indicator words, which is a pretty extensive list, but language is complex, and I haven't attempted to put every single premise and conclusion indicator word there. But that page 2, those words are crucial, going to be crucial throughout the course here. All right, I'm going to wrap this up.